I put a blanket for him right there, so he'd look cute in the back of my video. And he chose to lay there. Gus, go lay on your blanket. Look, go lay on your blanket. No, go lay on your blanket. Your blanket. He needed his octopus to go to his blanket. That makes sense. It's really hard to live in a world that constantly spews information at you about religion and about opinions on religion when we live in a world with thousands of different religions and millions of different opinions on those religions. And if your TikTok feed is anything like mine, it's probably just filled with people just saying things about the Bible or about Jesus that are just blatantly not true. When you live in a world like that, it's tough to know where to turn. It's tough to know who to trust. It's tough to know what religion is true exactly. And when you consider that we live in literally the most informed era of probably all human history, it's really difficult to know who to trust. So this week I thought I'd put out a video that essentially just gives you 3 very basic reasons for why I think you should trust Christianity over all of the other religions in the world. The first reason I think you should trust Christianity is the Gospels. Now I think a lot of Christians are actually kind of uninformed on what the Gospels are in terms of their literary style. I think we tend to just think they're like stories and legends about Jesus, even within the Christian community. But the reality is that these are actually written, documented biographies of a human being's life. And that human being was, of course, Jesus. Now, I can just feel the atheists and agnostics and skeptics in the comments already attacking me, saying that just because something is written down about Jesus doesn't mean it's true. And I would agree with that. But what's fascinating about the Gospels is that there are 4 separate writers writing in 4 separate unique writing styles, writing within very likely the same century that Jesus existed, that all agree on the core details of Jesus' life. Now, the second reason that I think you should be a Christian is actually because of extra-biblical history. 2 of the most important historians that ever existed actually record Jesus as a historical figure having an extremely influential life and ministry. The first is a Roman historian by the name of Tacitus, and the second is a Jewish historian by the name of Josephus. It's undeniable from the writings of Tacitus that he actually hated Christians. He hated Jesus. And yet he still finds it important to record his existence and the movement that Jesus caused within the first century. Josephus, also not a Christian, records that Jesus was a person and that was crucified under Pilate, and even says that perhaps he was the Messiah. Now, I'm not going to use this video to get into the weeds with these 2 historians. Hopefully we'll do that in a future video. But just consider the fact that you have 2 of the greatest historians of the first century, the century that Jesus lived in, recording his existence as someone with an influential ministry, and one of them even saying that perhaps he was the Messiah. That's fascinating and worth taking note of, isn't it? Now, most of you probably don't know that this YouTube channel is kind of like a learn by teaching method for me. I'm studying apologetics. I would call myself a student of apologetics. I'm pretty new to this. And if you're anything like me, maybe you clicked on this video because you want to get into apologetics, the first place I would start on your reading journey is this book right here. I Don't Have Enough Faith to Be an Atheist. This book has been incredible for my faith. It's helped me have massive reliance on Scripture, on the eyewitness testimony of Jesus, and it reminds me of why I can actually trust Jesus. It also makes atheists really mad. After I plug this book, if this video ends up getting a decent amount of views and comments, just go look at the comments. It makes atheists furious. They call Frank Turek, the author of this book, a liar and a scam artist, and it's really funny. And if you want a significantly more advanced approach to the evidence for Jesus, this is the book I'm currently working on right now. It's called Evidence That Demands a Verdict. This is a little bit more of an intense read, a little bit more of almost like a textbook kind of thing. It's not designed to be read like cover to cover, but it's designed as an apologetics tool. And that's how I'm using it to prepare for future videos soon to come. Currently, I'm actually studying chapter 6, which literally goes through every single historical mention of Jesus and unpacks what it says and whether or not it's valuable in our historical analysis of who he was as a person. And so if either of those books are interesting to you and you'd like to get them for yourselves, I'll have links down below. Or if you are a listener and you don't like reading and you want to just listen on your way to work or whatever, I'll have an Audible link down below where you can get these books as well and listen to them on your own time. Now, the third and probably most important reason to trust Christianity is the empty tomb. Now, based on the evidence we have, it's pretty conclusive that there was an empty tomb that Jesus was in and then was found not in. And for years, people have tried to come up with theories of where did the body go? Why have we never found the body of Jesus? Some have suggested that the apostles actually lied and maybe even stole the body. But then, of course, you have the question, why would they steal the body? And if you want to see a video about why I believe that the Muslim version of Jesus is false and incompatible with actual history, check out the video here. Or if you want to see whatever video YouTube is recommending specifically for you, check the other side of the screen. If you're new here, subscribe to learn apologetics alongside me, and leave a like if you enjoyed. We'll see you next time.